Medical Laboratory Science Student Association. I also want to bring you greetings from the Vice Chancellor who has asked me to present. He told me he would have loved to be here, but for his very busy schedule. He, however, said that it is you, because he's the one that has granted this award, and that as he told you, his warm greetings. And I'm also here because I'm invited to as a guest here. Now, I want you to understand that the reason for education is they have gone beyond just being in the classrooms and just doing research. Like you have said, beyond the laboratory, it's expected that you make some impact in the environment where you find yourself, even political impact. I'm sure you have seen that doctors are becoming governors of states, senators, and so on. And beyond politics, there are several areas where we should make impact beyond the laboratory. So this week provides the opportunity to interact and also learn how to be relevant outside the laboratory. We appreciate what you do as laboratory scientists, but beyond that, you can make impact on other facets of life outside the laboratory. I want you to open up yourself and be ready to learn. I'm told the videos speaker will be around, and I'm sure he will put us through so many things you can do outside the laboratory. So feel free to interact with one another and learn new things. Thank you and welcome. And on this note, I declare the week open. Thank you.
Once again, my dear now to business of today. Our business of today will be discussing on the topic from student to professional, building capacity and unlocking opportunities in medical laboratory science. I introduced you earlier our guest speaker of today, medical scientist Odede Kome Odede. Please round of applause for that. My university why I also the citation before your presentation. Distinguished students, I present today how to take some today. Kome is a first-class graduate in medical laboratory science from the University of Ghana. Where she submitted the best student from 2023. Is that what she also seen the position of the president in medical microbiology. Reflecting as two already different approaches for medical laboratory sciences. Coming from the leadership and the federal medical sector, where she was awarded the best assistant in the in 2024. It was also the first one to go during her national youth service. She received the National Award for successfully leading a hospital management project, demonstrating her leadership and commitment to improving the healthcare system. She is currently pursuing a master's degree in medical laboratory science while building grouping diagnosis enterprise, a biotech platform hub. Just like I said, they have a strong interest in molecular diagnostics and biotechnology, and she is passionate about applying effective learning systems and procedures to achieve academic and professional excellence. She has developed numerous assets for studying smarter, building systems, and achieving high performance, which she is excited to share with others. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our Vice Chancellor, Kome Odede.
Good morning, the Vice Chancellor, who is amiably represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academics, um, my Head of Department, Medical Laboratory Services, Medical Laboratory Science, Edo State University, the NIMELSSA team that put this wonderful symposium together, the beautiful Medical Laboratory Science students of Edo University seated here, my fellow colleagues, my lecturers, and the good students here present. Standing here today is Lady Kome Odede. I am here to give a speech. But before I do that, I would like to say something. If you had asked me years ago what success is like, I would have said graduating with good grades, getting a internship on time, and probably getting a good job. But now, if you ask me what success is, I would say success is actually asking yourself, who am I beyond my profession? Who am I beyond the white? So I'll be giving a speech on beyond the white code, building capacity, exploring opportunities, and embracing the untold realities of the MLS journey. So first of all, before we even talk about who you are beyond the white code, you need to know who you actually are. Because I've actually met a lot of students and even scientists, and they don't really know who they are. So, first of all, I want to say that you are clinical diagnostician. You are the ones that run laboratory tests, that guide the physician on how to treat patients. That is a very big role that people need to play. If you don't give the right result, it's going to be a danger for the patient that are used. Right? Also, you run the quality control that keeps every result trustworthy. It is not just about giving results out. You have to be sure that the result that are getting out is true, is quality. And that's what you also do as a scientist. Also, I want you to know that 70% of clinical decisions rely on laboratory results. Nigeria's disease body demands skilled medical laboratory sciences that are dedicated to the MLA profession. Also, you are the future of diagnosis in the country. There are so many diseases that still do not have a proper cure, and they still do not have proper diagnosis. We need you to come up with ideas to find out how diagnosis can grow and be able to define and detect those diseases that do not have cure. Okay. So next, I'll be talking about um, the white coat. And I also want to give a very big thank you to my lecturer for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be here today. So, what is this white coat we're talking about? Of course, it's our laboratory coat. We know that. But what does it symbolize? Because it's what I that before you think of what you know, right? Now, I would say that it stands for we have protection, It represents our profession and represents our purpose. Now, protection. What do you think the lab coat is for? Used for protection. This is to protect us against biological and chemical hazards, right? Hello? Am I correct? Alright. Then it's also a symbol of responsibility. It shows that we are committed to quality service, right? Hello, are you listening to me? Okay, it also represents the knowledge, training, and trust. Okay? Now, the white coat protects us in the laboratory, but it should not limit us beyond the laboratory. Now, who am I beyond the white coat? How many of you here can define what medical laboratory is true? Can anybody define what medical laboratory is? Anybody here? Okay, so according to our NIMELSSA, the reason why I'm bringing this out is because many people do not know that beyond the white coat is the definition of who a medical laboratory is. Now, if you are looking at my slide, you will see that medical laboratory science means the practice involving the analysis of human or animal tissues, body fluid, excretion, production of biological, design and fabrication of equipment for the purpose of medical laboratory diagnosis and treatment. Now, if the definition of medical laboratory science does not limit you to white coat, does not limit you to the bench, it's telling you that you can diagnose human fluids, right? It's telling you that you can produce biologicals. It's also telling you that you can design and fabricate equipment for the purpose of medical laboratory diagnosis, treatment, and research. That is, even the equipment that you use in the lab, you can design it. You know that. The reagent that you use in the lab, you can produce it. You know that. Good. So the second part of medical laboratory science definition says that it includes medical microbiology, clinical chemistry, chemical pathology, hematology, blood transfusion science, virology, histopathology, histochemistry, immunology, are you listening? Cytogenetics, exfoliative cytology, parasitology, forensic science, molecular biology, laboratory management, or any other related field as approved by the Council. This is the MLSN Act 2003. Now, I hope you are aware of the things that you can do aside being at the bench. Now, I actually broke down the opportunities beyond the white coat into 5 broad categories because if I want to go through all of them, yeah. So I just, broke them down into 5 categories. And I'll give you the first one, which is research, academia, and knowledge creation. Now, do you know that as medical laboratory scientists, we don't just generate data, we can generate knowledge. Do you know that? Okay. Now, when you go for your internship, like I did very good. Now, when you go for your process, but you need to actually go out there and process. Are you ready? Those like that you run, my have like 50 patients per day. Those 50 patients you have a strength from the world. You know that you can publish paper from June to 7. You can take a time and say, okay, from June to July, I want to see the pattern of people that have very high level you can generate data and publish it. And add to knowledge. Do you know that? So we don't just generate data, we can generate knowledge. So like I said, I'm going to research. There are different types. I'm going to epidemiological research. I'm going to scientific writing. Like I thought, I'm going to speak at when you teach us, they always say that as a scientist, you are sitting down on information. Right? And you also need to say that researchers never die. Because if you die, your work is still out there, it's still helping people, it's still use as information source for people, right? Also, you can also do clinical trial. Now, let's say a doctor or somebody came up with a video, right? You can be part of that clinical trial to see how the drug works in a particular group of people, right? Also, we can do method evaluation studies. Now, this is actually done in laboratory. You can be invited as a laboratory scientist to come and evaluate the particular method that is being used. What is it? Okay, is this method giving quality results? You now do research. Say, okay, let's say that what we do chemistry analysis. And they want to try out if this chemistry analysis will give accurate result that will have right? So you are not to build anything to do that research. You now know that let's use this analyzer, let's compare yourself. Okay? Then also you can do quality improvement. Let's say you are working in a laboratory and the patient said that complaining that our test result is taking so much time. How can we get our results on time? Let's say their follow-up test is severe. How can we make sure that the result comes out on time? You as the clinician, you're going to report to that meeting. How can we reduce the turnaround time for local results? Okay? Then next, we have teaching, lecturing, and training. Now, as experienced medical laboratory scientists, you can actually go and say, okay, I want to start a career in lecturing, I want to start a career in teaching, and strengthen the next generation of laboratory practitioners. You can even go and train people for specialized courses if you've already gotten that training. Because you say, I want to offer courses to people that want to specialize in scientific genetics, or people that want to specialize in immunodevelopment. Okay? Then another area is public speaking. You can say that scientists can influence healthcare practice and public awareness by sharing knowledge through conferences, seminars, and advocacy platforms. Now, scholarships. I really like to talk about this one because this is like the groundbreaking news for medical and scientists. Do you know that you can apply for scholarships? Although the scholarship actually gives us bigger opportunities, bigger platforms to showcase who we truly are. Are you hearing me? Are you getting me? Are you getting what I'm saying? Are you following me? All right. So the very first time I listed about four types. We have graduate assistantships, we have fully funded scholarships, we have partially funded scholarships and fellowships. So I brought out some of the popular ones. We have the Shevlin scholarship. Now, the Shevlin scholarship is a UK fully funded scholarship, 1 year master's scholarship. You go to UK, study a top master's scholarship, top master's course, and then you have to return back to your home country. Do you know why? Do you know why they say that you must return back? Because whatever you learn in the UK, they want you to come and implement it here in Nigeria. And actually, there are a lot of people that have gone through this scholarship and have made big names for themselves in Nigeria. One of the officials in First Bank was a Shady scholar. So what it does for you is that if they take care of you, just come and learn. You also make money, you make network, that even if you don't have enough money to build your idea. The network that you get from this scholarship will enable you to build that idea that you have. Another scholarship I have here is the Growth Scholarship. Oxford University for international students. So what you do there is this scholarship actually for open first class students. So if you're in to graduate first class, just focus on that. Okay. Then we also have the Macron Green Scholarship. This scholarship is actually for Canada. And they give only 20 people from the whole world. So this scholarship is open to anybody, first class, second class, upper, lower, and others. Then we have Mastercard Foundation Scholarship and the Commonwealth Scholarship. These scholarships are very prestigious and competitive. They are very competitive, right? Then we have the Great Scholarship Program. This one is a partially funded one. They just give £10,000. So these are opportunities that you can aim for. You can start preparing for it even before you graduate. That's the reason why I brought it here for you to know. I wish somebody even told me when I was still a student here. I would have known about this, but I didn't know. I actually, when I graduated, I started knowing about this, right? Now, let's enter the third opportunity group, which is entrepreneurship and business. I know many of you like this one. You are trying to watch this one, listen to this one. Instead of only seeking jobs, you know that you can create jobs. Okay, let me tell you something. You know that there are too many workers, there are too many people that are looking for jobs. But there are very few people that are creating jobs. Now, imagine universities are releasing graduates every year. Every year they're releasing graduates. And you see that graduates don't even have jobs because the people that are creating the jobs, they are not much anymore. So that's the reason why I'm bringing this to you. For you to know that as a medical scientist, you don't really always have to search for seeking jobs. You can also create jobs while they are seeking for jobs. Okay? Now, the very first one is equipment fabrication. This one is in our definition of medical lab science. Scientific expertise can be applied to developing, adapting, and maintaining laboratory equipment suitable for local healthcare settings. Now, the reason I put this picture here is the Vice two compact system. What this machine does is that it actually reduces the turnaround time for antibiotic susceptibility and culture. So somebody actually came up with this idea. The normal conventional culture we know is that you get a sample and then you plate it right, and then the next day you come to identify your organism, and then the next day you do your antibiotic susceptibility testing. But these people came up with an idea that okay, if we can get a clean isolate, how about we put a system whereby we can able to detect if this organism is resistant to different antibiotics if it also has some type of strain, like Staphylococcus aureus that has severe resistant strain, or E. coli that has ESBL strain, this medicine can actually detect all of them within a very short period of time. So, as medical addiction, ideas like that. Let me give you one example. You know the autoclave that we use? How many students here can operate autoclave? I'm very good. Now, you know the reason I'm also right? You don't close the valve well. You don't time it properly. That's it. You just use software. Yes, TV. And then you now don't want to what will happen? Because of the blood vessel station, right? There's a lot of hazards that come from the somebody here and I said, oh, I think this is something for sterilizing media, for sterilizing diagnosis, for sterilizing medical material. You get me? You can go into that. You can do that through, you can study biomedical engineering and all that. Another business idea is reagent production as well. So you can also go into procurement and supply chain. Laboratory knowledge helps you ensure the acquisition of quality diagnostic equipment, reagents, and consumables. Now, some there are some laboratory scientists that what they do is procurement. Now, what is procurement? In a hospital setting or in a laboratory setting, in a laboratory setting, the reagents, the equipment, everything that is used for the reagent testing, the material that is used for testing are sourced. So procurement is end-to-end sourcing material for the flow of work, right? Why supply chain is actually the flow of goods and services from the manufacturer, that is from raw material to the supplier, to factory, to distribution, to retail, and to the customer. You can also decide to go into supply chain distribution. Let's say Biometrics release a new reagent package. You can really want to say, okay, let me go into supply chain management and see how reagents are shifted from the raw material of the manufacturer to different suppliers. Also, you can go into laboratory consulting. MLS professionals can provide expert advice on laboratory quality management, accreditation, and diagnostic services. Now, you can actually be a consultant and medical laboratory scientist. So people that want to open their own lab, I'm actually getting two scientists that like that, and people like seriously with that. What they do is that somebody wants to open a lab, they go there and talk about the design of the laboratory, type of equipment that they will use. Hello. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, another microphone. What should I do? Which one's brother? Oh, you're so good now. How are you? Hmm. I was just starting. Okay, so sorry about that. So you can actually go into laboratory consulting, right? I've met two scientists who mentioned that go into that. Then you can also go into private diagnostics. MLS professionals can establish diagnostic centers that improve access to quality healthcare services. I mean, I think those lab. So still at the very big example of private diagnosis, that's very large. That two only medical laboratories diagnosis. And they are coming about every year, it's usually very big. So there's actually a lot of prospects in medical laboratory science services. So you can actually go into that. I also know some scientists that are working with government and they also own their own private diagnosis establishment as well. Also, I like to say that medical laboratory scientists are actually very good analysts. Yes, we're actually very good analysts. Since we are the ones that are into analysis of human specimen, sample, even when you're working, there's sometimes that you know that a test system will give you a wrong result. You now have to analyze what's going on, something's wrong. You know that you can apply your analysis skills into investments and revenue. You know that? Average professionals can achieve financial stability while supporting health innovation through the foreign exchange market like forex and stock. I know a few medical laboratory services that are also into trading forex because forex needs a lot of analysis. And as a lab scientist, you do analysis every day. So you can actually bring that into wealth building and even support our profession even more. Okay, then the fourth category is industry and corporate career. Our scientific training equips us with analytical skills valued beyond healthcare. Now we can actually go into something called occupational health and safety. We can identify what places are large and develop strategies that protect workers' health. You can work in the petroleum industry. You can work in utility services to test water quality. You can also be a biological manager. So let's say, for example, a molecular lab had, let me just say, like a break of their, maybe their biosafety cabinet. Something goes wrong, and then there was like a biorisk. They can call you as a biorisk manager to actually come and evaluate what questions and solve that problem. Also, you can go into the food and agricultural industry. You can go into food safety testing, quality assurance. You can work with the NDLEA, Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency. And you can also go into forensic services. You can do toxicology testing. And let's talk about this one very well. You can go into CRISPR technology to enhance agriculture, that is clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. You can go into that and advanced agriculture. You can do that for gene editing too. for therapeutic reasons, right? We can also do that to enhance our food. Okay? Then lastly, leadership, governance, and policies. This one is very important to me, and I really want you guys to pay attention for this particular one I'm about to talk about. Last month, I need to write a scholarship exam from a who's from Niger Delta here? Okay, there's this scholarship, Niger Delta scholarship from Niger Delta region. So they give because there are two types, and foreign and local. So the foreign scholarship, they give you fully funded, they sponsor you to go out and study whatever you want to study. So, but before you are selected, you have to write the exam, and then when you pass the university interview. So there are different categories: there's law, engineering, there's medical science. So I actually spoke to somebody, I watched a video of somebody that I don't know, and he said that in those categories, there are sub-categories, like in engineering, there's sub, like, okay, since there's medical sciences, there will be sub-categories. Are you hearing me? Okay, so now we're there. Lo and behold, I just read the exam. Medical sciences question, there was no medical ability science question. Not even one. I will not want to disclose like the kind of questions that they said, but there was no medical laboratory discussion. So I had the attention of them, and I was like, what's going on? Why is it not like that's what I said the question. Like, okay, no problem. So I did my degree. And because we don't have much about like in politics, we have maybe like in the lab sciences that were present when they were setting the questions. We just like, oh, we also have medical sciences. Can you tailor some questions to them? And this is to be fair. Or can we create a separate category for nurses, pharmacists, medical laboratory scientists? You get so we actually need more of you in government policies. Healthcare system needs professionals who don't just work within policies, but help shape them. So we can go into government and policy development. Technically, expertise is valuable in developing policies that improve the health system, like healthcare policy development. I'm very happy about this mental platform policies. This is where you start building your leadership skills. This is where you start building your governance skills and probably transcend into government, right? We also have institutional policy. When an institution wants to make a policy and they want to consider the medical science sector, they can call you and invite you like, oh, we want to make this. Can you bring a contribution or can you help us write this policy? And also health advocacy. Also, you can also go into laboratory management. Medical laboratory professionals can lead laboratory teams, manage resources, and ensure quality service delivery. So you get to a point where you grow, but you actually have to be skills for this. You have to grow, gain experience, so that you can understand how the laboratory is managed, right? From the workforce to national equipment management to money and infrastructure, the whole process. Then last on my list is innovation, technology, and digital health. A lot of you are Gen Z here, so you know what I'm talking about. The future of healthcare is increasing digitally. Medical lab scientists who understand technology will be highly sought after. So let's go into AI and tech. When I was in my internship, I came across a technology called PASA, Computer Assisted Semen Analysis. That's the picture I have there. What that software does for you is that it helps you to analyze semen analysis. Normally, you as a microbiologist, you analyze semen analysis through their morphology, toxicity, their movement, and their count. So what the software does for you is that it makes the screen bigger and shows you the percentage of the ones that their morphology is okay and they have abnormal morphology. Like you see, clearly somebody actually came up with that software. Okay? So we also have machine learning. This is used in many research nowadays, like the deep neutral network and the populational neutral network. You can also go into epidemiology control. You know that you can use AI tools to predict healthcare. Like with AI tools, you can actually see if a person will be susceptible to a particular type of to predict the future. You can also use that for monetary control. I don't really know how prominent this one is, but I've read papers where they use AI tools to predict future epidemiological cases. One of the examples is blue dot. So we can also go into modern healthcare. We can go into precision medicine. So precision medicine is basically using somebody's DNA to treat them. Our traditional medicine, everybody takes just one drug. One drug is used to treat same, everybody. But precision medicine now says, okay, because of this person's genetic makeup, the person might not be able to metabolize this drug or this person. But this person can, okay, how can we now say, how can we treat people based on their genetic makeup? That's where personalized medicine comes in. And people that go into genomics, molecular biology, we need to in this area. They will have digital diagnosis. How many of you have used the glucometer here before? That small one, glucometer. Okay. Now somebody came up with that idea. You know that you can actually come up with other ideas to make healthcare more accessible. Can do innovations of point of care testing, remote diagnostics, improve, and you can also work in the area that improve laboratory information systems. That is in a hospital now. When a doctor requests for your test, laboratory analysis is the doctor requests for, and then you will be able to see the patient's history. So that when you when the result comes out, you're able to track that result. So that workflow, that system is actually made by someone, right? It's called laboratory information system. So you can actually go into that and make it better, more interesting, and more user friendly. Because most of the ones I've seen are usually very, very technical. Okay? So you also go to content creation, like I'm a productor. Yes, as medical scientists, you can come out and talk about real life science, so people know your profession and know your workers. So you can educate the public, you can combat misinformation, and promote health literacy through digital platforms. If you are shy, you don't use the camera, all of you are LinkedIn. You can share health developments on LinkedIn. You can share recent advancements in your profession on LinkedIn platforms. Lastly, you can go into health informatics, that is bioinformatics, data analysis, electronic health record, laboratory information system, and public health statistics. Now, I want you to know that the white coat represents knowledge, professional identity, responsibility, but it does not automatically guarantee success, fulfillment, financial freedom, and career growth. Now, I want to bring something to you today. Your expectation is that, oh, let me graduate, let me get a job, and I'll come successful. Oh, it's not really like that every time. The reality is there's a serious competition out there. You think you have quality, or you think you have credentials, you see somebody else, you want where do you get your own credentials from? You also face rejection. I face rejection. I've applied for my scholarship and I didn't get them. I've applied for some and I got them. You have career uncertainty. Sometimes you might not be sure of what path to follow. You might say, oh, do I want to be a laboratory manager or do I want to go into genomics? You might be uncertain. You might also have limited opportunities. And you might have self-doubt. But I don't want you to I don't want you to panic, okay? Because we can actually work through this together. How do you do that? How do you do that? You can actually do that through building capacity. Now, I mentioned a lot of career opportunities from scholarships to genomics to laboratory management to supply chain management. But how do you actually work in this sector? Even on the bench, even as a lab scientist, even as a lecturer, even as a teacher. How do you prepare yourself for these opportunities? You need to build something called capacity. Now, what is capacity? Capacity is your ability to learn, to adapt, to lead, to solve problems, and to create